Hello! As I've been talking about in my previous videos, as I teach in my Awakening Process workshops, and as I wrote deeply in my book, The Awakening, if you would like to buy my last book, Awakening, you can go on the information and there is a link there. You can go tap on the link and go to Amazon.com and buy the book. So today I'm going to be talking about 3 levels of consciousness. The first level in consciousness is, like I talk about in my book and in my courses, the first level is the shrinked consciousness, which we can also call the ego consciousness. If you are in the first level of consciousness, you live your life literally, because I'm a human behavioral specialist as well. I like watching people's behaviors, and I like doing experiments, and I like doing research on people's behaviors, and I am certain that each and every person who made meaning in life and who has rights and wrongs, and this should happen, that shouldn't happen, I must do this, I mustn't do this, I have to be like this, people who try to live their lives according to a book, according to what they know, instead of being real and connecting with their being, people who are more connected with their human side, who are more connected with how they behave, who they are, who are more in control, are people who are in the ego consciousness and the shrinked consciousness, and they literally live their lives looking like this. So if you see people looking like this, down on earth, and while talking, those people who are in the ego consciousness, who have a shrinked consciousness, they will always have a hard time looking into your eyes. So if someone can't look into your eyes, if someone is trying to look down, and when walking and when doing anything, they're more like this, they probably are more in the shrinked consciousness, in their concerns, in their ways of living, in their thoughts about who they would be, what they should do, and there are a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts and I have to's in their minds, and those people who are not authentic. I sometimes feel like people in the ego consciousness and in the shrinked consciousness are a little robotic. You can't feel the life in them, and you literally sense that, because the more your consciousness shrinks, the more unhealthy you'll get, and the less life energy you will have. So if we have ideas like this is wrong, that's right, that's good, that's bad, this is positive, this is negative, if we believe that there is a light and darkness, good and bad, evil and angelic, what happens is we have shrinked our consciousness, we got into a dream state, we got into an illusion, and we created an illusion for ourselves, a world full of illusions, a world full of rights and wrongs, and we have lost our life and light and energy. And what happens is, if you stay in that shrinked consciousness for a long time, because that's a dream state, and because that shrinked consciousness is also shrinking the life energy you have, it's shrinking your breath. You are breathing dysfunctional, when you're thinking dysfunctional, when you have that reasoning, when you are lost in the reasoning in your mind, when you're lost in your own reasoning, instead of expanding the consciousness and seeing the meaning, when you're lost in your own meaning and in your own meaning-making mechanism, which can be called the reasoning, and in the ego consciousness, you start getting sick, and that shrinking in the consciousness will always shrink you, shrink your life, so you will be experiencing shrinking in your business, you will experience shrinking in your wealth, shrinking in your health, you will probably have shrinking in your relationships, shrinking in your social life. So people who get more and more lonely, who get more and more alone, who start living alone and who are shrinking their lives and who are losing their health, losing their business, jobs, wealth, health, relationships, social life, because they are choosing to shrink their consciousness. The second level of the consciousness, and to tap into the second level, so if you ask me how can I tap into the second level, there are lots of strong methods and modalities and systems. We have in Nevsah Institute a full curriculum of different teachings and different workshops and different modalities, and my main goal in this lifetime is creating an advanced science university where we can teach all of these strong methods and teachings, because right now in the 21st century we can support you on expanding expanding your consciousness. As a human behavioral specialist and as a breath and meditation expert, I have seen thousands of people able to expand their consciousness and get more awake. And the more you expand your consciousness, and like I said, it's not going to happen by itself. You will have to work on it. You will have to work on your consciousness. You will have to work on your mind. You will have to keep on meditating. And as you see now, I also say have to, but it's not the have to of the ego consciousness. It's like saying this is the system that works. If you want to go that way, it's going to work. Not to get you into a I have to do this, but it's more like if you choose to expand your consciousness, this is the way. If you start working on your consciousness and start expanding the consciousness, what's going to happen is, because you will connect with unlimited energy and unlimited genius form of being, you will start forming genius. You will start forming amazing, incredible, creative ideas. You will start having a clear vision about your life, and that's going to happen by working with your consciousness, your breath, and also through meditation. You will start looking at your life on a more expanded level, and you will find solutions to all of your problems, and you will start healing. So the second level of consciousness is where we heal, where we jump off from that shrinked ego consciousness. When we get into the miracle consciousness, instead of doing like this, people start looking like this, and people start looking you in the eye. People start being more sharp, being more connected, being more deep. So the being they start carrying when they start expanding their consciousness, and when people start getting more awake in the healing process, they get stronger and stronger, and their self-confidence develops, and they get more in tune with who they are. They have clear visions about their lives, and they start growing. The last level of the consciousness, where you keep on expanding the awakening process, when you keep on expanding the consciousness, the first level was shrinked, the second level was healing, the third level, the healing is done, and you are growing in all areas of your lives. You see that you're growing in all areas of your lives. So what happens is you become the teacher, you become the messenger, you become the leader, and you start expressing yourself. And the energy is more like this. So you open up globally and you start expressing yourself globally. And I'm happily watching many people doing that right now in YouTube and teachings and workshops and everywhere around the world. And that level, when you finish with your healing, when you start glowing and expanding more and more each day, when you learn and expand and start growing in all areas of your lives, relationships, social, business, wealth, health, in all areas, what happens is you start feeling one feeling, which is called the gratitude. I'm a teacher who doesn't believe gratitude can happen just by telling yourself, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. I'm a teacher who thinks thankfulness and gratitude will not happen just by saying I'm thankful. It is going to happen when it's meant to happen, when you have reached at a certain level in your consciousness. Then you will have a real gratitude, and it's going to be like, thank you for all of this, and thank you for this lifetime. And that's the third level of consciousness. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my courses, my course Awakening Process, which will lead you to jumping from the first level to third, or the second level to third, just in one day. And we say one day is enough to change your life. And I always say that one day is enough to change your life. I'm looking forward to see you in that one day, work with you in that one day. Start 9 o'clock in the morning and go till 9 o'clock in the evening, and see you transform and see you expand your consciousness and create an extraordinary life. See you in my next video.